be with what is. And what is that deep sense of shared ground, shared reality, shared natural state, shared root, the essence of everything, the Godhead, and the rising into the heart, which is the great interconnected. And then what arises, what appearance is in this moment, in your awareness. And if you listen deeply, really deeply, intimately, then there'll be a movement, that perhaps, just like Yo-Yo Ma was moved to create this exquisite, music, the Song of Solace, and others, we have heroes here that in our small community that are going and checking up on people and getting groceries and taking them into their driveway and, what do you need? And we're here for you. And, you're not alone. And this is a community of a lot of hermits. And so there's movement. Perhaps we're finding that it's a restart, right? It's like we're so busy as a collective. We don't have enough time. We have all these diversions, and now pretty much that's closed down. I mean, we're obsessing on the internet now, but who knows about that? So it's in that reset, in a way. What are your values? What is it that, how do you want to live this life? Where do you want to, it's so short, it's so precious, it's over in a minute. Where do you want to, how do you want to live this precious life, right? It allows us to really see that and to, look at that. My teacher, we've been listening to his course in the last 2 to 3 days, and he talks a lot about the values. What are your values? Are your values, scaring each other with all these stories of what could happen or what's supposedly happening, and we don't know about it because we're being controlled? Or do you want to create something that supports us and helps feel like we're in this together and we're not alone? Being a single mother for a long time, most of my daughter's raising really, I just had tremendous compassion for single mothers, because, 4 or 5 kids and hardly any money and, no support, and where am I going to live, and, my rent, and, all of that. And I thought, if we could understand that we are connected, we are supported, that the earth itself is made up of abundance, and she's a creatrix, right? Our life is abundant. And then start to come from that, start to listen. What does that mean? How is it that this isn't one woman trying to raise 5 kids in the middle of the city, not knowing where the food and the rent is going to come from? It's a shift of it's a shift of attention. And I'm not saying, that all of a sudden that all will go away. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying it's a shift of attention, of being totally alone and isolated, and then supported and resting in that all life arises from. That's the opportunity, I think, that we're given here right now. It's that old classic, which wolf do you want to feed? And I'm not speaking of denial. I'm speaking of inclusion of whatever arises. But it's an inclusion of looking at and touching and exploring and being curious about, loving what's arising, even if it's pure panic. you can collapse in the panic, or you can open and feel like it's like an embracing or a container. It's the great being that, holds that panic and permeates that panic and loves that panic. And then it starts to dissolve because that's how it functions. Or someone that you're living with that is having a really difficult time. And I'm not saying that there won't be reactions and all sorts of things that are arising, but do we collapse into the arisings, the difficult arisings, identify to the difficult arisings, or can in that moment open up? It's counterintuitive.